morning, everyone. Welcome to episode number 65, Jim? 67? Oh, that's right. I missed one. I was gone last week. Okay. We're on episode number 67 of Merritt in the Morning. He's your host, 30-year State Senator Jim Merritt.
He's Brad Klopfenstein. He is president of the Greater Lawrence Chamber of Commerce.
Yes. And today, we're at the State House. Our guest is going to be State Representative Ed Clere. But State Representative, before we get to you, we need to get to our sponsors.
Yes.
We want to thank Stockyards Bank and Trust. Locations all over central Indiana, southern Indiana as well, Louisville area, in central Indiana, 71st and Binford, Carmel, downtown Indianapolis, Plainfield. They've got one in Greenwood at County Line in Emerson. They've got one at Center Grove. Coming very soon to Zionsville, and I believe also Whitestown. And I saw Paula Moan a couple weeks ago, and she said they've got another one in the works.
Really?
And then now I forget where. I think Fishers.
This is a special talent of Klopp's that he knows where all the branches are. Because last week I let Josh say it.
Oh, Jim, come on. You paid no attention to me whatsoever.
Well, Honey Baked Ham also is a valued sponsor.
I love Honey Baked. Jim, give the pitch for Honey Baked Ham.
Well, they have great soups. Russell, you at 96 and 421 Michigan Road. It's not just ham, Klopp. It's all sorts of menu items. They even have chocolate cake, and their sweet potato pie is fantastic. And Easter's coming up. Even if it's not Easter, pick yourself up a ham, a turkey. I mean, they have a variety of issues and a variety of menu options, and we're just happy that they're beloved in Carmel.
They are. They are. So stop by there for lunch, dinner. They're great people. Thank you very much for sponsoring Merritt in the Morning. So, Representative Clere, welcome.
Thank you.
So
good to be with you guys.
How are things going? So just for our viewers, listeners, you represent District 72, Floyd County, Southern Indiana.
Correct.
You're going to be completing your 18th year. So
ninth term, 18th year.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and you made a very public announcement that you are going to be running for Mayor of New Albany next year.
As an independent.
As an independent.
Yes.
So one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you. So, just how did you make this decision?
It was a difficult decision. I struggled with it a long time, but as with a lot of decisions, I know you've experienced this. I'm sure you have as well, Brad. You reach a point at which you realize that it's actually a very easy decision, and that's. That's the point I got to. I think I probably knew where I was going last fall, especially during the redistricting, and we can talk more about that. I just could not. I could not appear on the ballot again. Running as a Republican with everything that has happened and everything that is going on now.
Klopp, our friend Abdul Shabazz has done some great research, and in his cheat sheet in indypolitics.org, he had a deep dive on your election history. And how well you poll or you vote, people vote, a wide range from Democrats to independents and Republicans. And I thought that was a great, I don't want to call it an expose, but a great report on your reach. And in the 18 years, and you were active before that, how have you, your service, how'd that come about of getting everybody, all stripes of life, all different types of voters to support you?
Sure. Well, you were here when I arrived, and you will remember it was a different time.
Yes.
Very different time. And, I arrived in the minority. So when I was first elected in 2008,
right in the middle of a enormous recession.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was quite a year to run, and quite a time to begin serving. We had a special session in 2009. So my first session, which was a budget session, ended with no budget, and we came back.
I had that problem in 1991.
We came back at the call of Governor Daniels for a special session to finish the budget. I have that perspective. I believe there are only 7 House Republicans, including me, who have served in the minority. So out of a caucus of 70, only 7 have served in the minority, and that is a very different perspective. Of course, you never served in the minority.
No.
But there wasn't always a supermajority either.
No.
Right.
And I posit today that the supermajority really hasn't been good for this building, or
it's been horrible.
Creating a public policy, public policies that are noteworthy. When you talk about New Albany. But let's talk about this session first, then we'll talk about New Albany, because I want to give you a chance to give your vision for New Albany, because it's right around the corner. 2027, the campaign probably for you will start on March 1st.
Yes.
You'll be sine-died out of here, sine-died, but they will adjourn this place, and this place will be vacant in March. And your campaign will be there. But now, during session now, which is short session, but people are cramming so much into the session, they're making it like a long session, which started probably 20 years ago.
Yep.
But you and I worked on the needle exchange for Scott County and all the counties around southern Indiana, and you and I believe that this is counterintuitive but noteworthy public policy. And there's an expiration on the policy right now, but there's a bill that passed the Senate caucus remarkably. And if you remember, we really had to work our caucuses back in 2015.
Oh yeah, toughest and costliest battle I've ever fought in this building. As I've said many times, I would do it again in a heartbeat. I know you would too.
Absolutely.
It's also one of the most, if not the most, significant battle I've ever fought in terms of direct impact.
You're saving lives. No question about it.
It's prevented infection.
The government doesn't prevent much.
It's connected people with recovery and other resources, and as a result, it has saved and improved countless lives in Indiana. And it's, the conversation has changed since 2015, but it hasn't changed completely. We're hearing some of the same things. We're hearing echoes of 2015. Enabling. There's been more acceptance of harm reduction. You were the leader on naloxone and lots of other harm reduction measures, and there's a lot of inconsistency and even contradiction in the way we view harm reduction here. Naloxone, fentanyl test strips, that legislation passed last year. And now we're struggling with the syringe legislation. We're down to 6 programs from a high of, I think the most we ever had operating at once was 11 or 12. Unfortunately, some of the most at-risk counties have lost their program, but the counties that still have a program, they are the most populous counties. So we have Marion and Allen and Clark next door to me. So they are serving a disproportionate share of the state's population when you consider not only the population of those counties, but the population of neighboring counties where people in those counties also have access. So
for our audience, clarify, because you and I, it's inside the limestone barn here. And sorry, I'm clogging up the interview.
No, that's fine.
Explain to our audience the syringe exchange program, because it's local. It's definitely local. State doesn't do it. It's funded by not state revenues.
Funded by all kinds of all kinds of different revenue sources, but not state or federal money. So it's very basic. It's harm reduction. It's not. The primary purpose is harm reduction, not reducing drug use.
Right.
An important secondary benefit and a very significant secondary benefit is that it does actually reduce drug use, because it gets people into contact with public health officials.
So they get information.
They get information. They establish trust. That trust will, in many cases, open a door for a person to begin recovery or access other resources. So it's incredibly powerful. And, you will remember we fought hard to make sure that our legislation allowed for strong evidence-based programs.
Yes.
And local control. Mm-hmm. So
and the Austin, Indiana doctor in Scott County.
Will Cook.
Yes. What a hero.
Yep.
And
Canary in the coal mine.
Do I remember correctly that his office was right across the street from the police station? Or
I believe so. Yeah, no, I think you're right.
And so,
Right, he was in the thick of it. Shane Avery, another physician in Scott County, was here testifying day before yesterday. Lots of heroes in Scott County. The challenge now is that evidence-based underpinning of our legislation is being threatened by the amendment that went into the bill on Wednesday. So I'm very concerned about that. These programs have accomplished so much. It would be a shame to compromise them. Obviously, it would be a shame to lose them.
Well, we're lucky that we have Madison Weintraut in the building from Marion County. Mm-hmm. And Madison, she just got married, but Madison Weintraut is her family name. But Brad, you've got a question.
Yeah. So, is the pushback on this just that the people in this building are probably less likely than the average person to have somebody in their family who's been touched by drug addiction?
I think, and Jim can speak to this, but one of the things that that we saw was more and more the interest in addressing the drug crisis came from more and more families being touched, including more and more people here in this building. So, legislators who had family experiences, who had very personal experiences. A former Representative Cindy Zemke had
sons.
Her sons, just an incredible personal testimony, and she was such a champion when she was in the legislature. But yeah, there are still a lot of stereotypes, and it didn't help that the president issued an executive order, I think it was July 24th, that included a paragraph attacking harm reduction. That's been a big part of this.
So where does it go from here?
Well,
what bill number is it?
It's Senate Bill 91. Mm-hmm. Senator Kreider is the author.
Yeah, he rode up on the elevator with us.
Yep.
It passed the Senate.
Passed the Senate 33-13, if my memory is correct.
Overwhelming for a controversial bill like that.
Absolutely, and Senator Kreider has been an incredible champion on many issues, this being one of them, and he made a strong case to his caucus, and they supported him. Most of them supported him. So I'm hoping that we can soften some of the requirements that were
one of the issues we're talking about is 1-for-1.
Well, 1-for-1 and ID requirements.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is
You have to return a syringe to receive a syringe, and that goes against all of the evidence that says the best way to help people is to lower the barriers, including and especially the barrier of receiving as many sterile syringes as a person needs. You know, we have something that's referred to as secondary distribution, where you may be an injection drug user and you are going to a syringe service program and obtaining syringes not only for yourself but for 2 or 3 other people in your circle, and so you're helping keep them safe too.
Yes.
And just, you know, from a public safety standpoint, we don't want people walking around carrying used syringes.
No, we don't.
You know, if there's a safe way to dispose of a syringe, then it should be disposed of as quickly as possible. The return rates are already incredible. I think here in Marion County, it's mid-80s based on the latest report. There's supposed to be an annual report on this from the State Health Department. The latest report is 2023. They didn't do a report for 2024. But the latest report says that, you know, Marion County is seeing a return of about 85% of syringes, and Clark County, whose program is second to none, Dr. Yazel is the health officer down there, they have a return rate of more than 100%.
Yeah, Madison Ramsey's her name. And
Jim, little side note, Dr. Yazel, I used to babysit him. I will tag him on this.
We'll make sure he sees this.
Kevin Bacon, huh?
Exactly. So, all right, now is a good time to take a break and thank our sponsors. I want to thank the Honey Baked Ham Company, locations at 96 in Michigan, Greyhound Pass in Carmel. Come in and get, Jim, they should name the honey mustard after you. I don't know what it's going to take to get to that.
Well, there's several different types of honey mustard.
Well,
too.
then you pick out your favorite. We'll call it the Jim Merritt. Ooh, you can have your own sandwich.
We need Calbs.
Calb family. I saw you guys cheating on us with the Smiley Morning Show.
Yeah.
One of those stickers that you use to close the sandwich wrapper.
Yes,
with
exactly.
his picture.
Just the Jim.
Yeah.
Well, they know what I like.
Okay.
It's a classic.
Well, all right, we're going to start a grassroots campaign on this. Be prepared. Also want to thank Stockyards Bacon Trust. Location 71st and Binford, Plainfield, Carmel, downtown Indianapolis, Center Grove, Greenwood, coming soon to Zionsville, Whitestown, and maybe Fishers, if I heard that right. I'm maybe not supposed to disclose that.
Well, Klopp, let's talk about New Albany.
Yes. So your district, Floyd County, New Albany, it's an urban district. Without having looked at the numbers myself, I'm guessing that's probably kind of a toss-up district. And when I say toss-up,
You mean the legislative district?
the legislative district, or even the city of New Albany, probably more so.
Well, the legislative district is more Republican than the city.
Yes.
The city has favored Democrats
Forever.
forever. Yeah, I mean, I came when I ran for mayor as a Republican 3 years ago in 2023. I came closer than any other Republican had come in about 20 years.
A lot closer than I did in 19.
Yeah, well, we're not going to talk about that.
Well, it had been the closest any other Republican had come was 60-40, and my race was 52-48.
Okay,
It's darn close.
So 313 votes, if I remember correctly.
Wow. Okay.
Unfortunately, low turnout, which is part of what
Always
you
are.
experienced. I mean, how many people came up to you after your race and said, "Gosh, I wish I would have known you were running," or "I meant to vote for you"?
Well, when the riots came in 2020, there are a lot of Democrats that wish I had won. But anyway,
Well.
Let's talk about you. New Albany has a bright future.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of people that drive in. My mom grew up in Brown Station in Clarksville, and so I know the area pretty well, and so does Klopp. But it's a bedroom community for Louisville. Kentuckiana is a real vibrant discussion point in the area.
Yeah, and you know Louisville well. Also.
Yes,
You have a lot
I
of
know
connections
Louisville.
there.
St. Matthews. We hear so much about Senate Bill 1 that has put handcuffs in local government. I was talking to Wayne Siebold yesterday, former mayor of
yes.
Marion, and Marion was in a lot different situation than a Carmel or a Westfield or a Fishers. What is your vision for the city of New Albany? What are you going to be talking about?
A lot of things. A lot of the things that I talked about in 23. I want to be mindful of our time, but New Albany has been stuck in the mud. I'll use Jeffersonville as an example. Jeffersonville has been growing, and River Ridge, absolutely. But there's been so much going on in Jeffersonville, and when they did a big annexation 20 plus years ago now. I think at the time their population was like 27,000. Now with the annexation and subsequent development, they are 50,000 plus. I don't know what their exact population is today, but New Albany's been stuck for decades at about 38 or 39,000 people, stubbornly refusing to do any annexation, which is something that needs to be done. And I want to approach it thoughtfully. And as with everything, I want to make sure and engage the people who are going to be most affected, and hear what they have to say, and hopefully get their buy-in. But it's something we need to do. You mentioned Senate Bill 1. I mean, there are a lot of challenges with local government finance. I was a co-sponsor of Senate Bill 1. It certainly was not a perfect piece of legislation. There are things that are being worked on right now to address pieces of Senate Bill 1. I think the gaping hole in Senate Bill 1 was that it did not address assessment.
Oh, yeah. Well, Tom Saunders.
Yeah. So
when you got in here, when you were elected in 2008, he was declaring call from Representative Tom Saunders. You have to deal with assessment.
Yeah, and it's just, I'll use the term gaping hole again, because ultimately there's no way to address property tax reform, relief, whatever you want to call it, or any other aspect of local government finance in a sustainable way without addressing assessment. And our assessment system is a mess, and it's getting worse year by year. So we don't have to get into detail right now. But from the standpoint of New Albany, I'm excited to dig into the local government finance piece. I mean, there are certainly challenges, including challenges that have been created in this building, but there are also lots of opportunities. I've been a critic of TIF for many years. I'm not against TIF. I just want to move TIF back to what it was supposed to be originally, looking at infrastructure and redevelopment. We have redevelopment commissions that in many cases are a lot more concerned with greenfield development than redevelopment. And New Albany is a great example of a community that has incredible redevelopment opportunities, areas of the city that are ripe for redevelopment, and very dynamic things could come from that.
Klopp, I was a real big fan of CREED back then.
Of what's that?
CREED, community redevelopment.
Yeah. Well, urbanism seems to be where people want to be, especially young people want to be in a vibrant urban area.
Yeah.
New Albany has an intact downtown. New Albany also has the bridge, right? The pedestrian bridge.
Well, no, that's Jeffersonville.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's been a great advantage for Jeffersonville. But New Albany has all kinds of other assets, right across from Louisville, just, west of Jeffersonville and Clarksville. But all three of those communities, New Albany, Clarksville, Jeffersonville, are very interconnected, and very interconnected with Louisville. I mean, it has always been fun up here to explain the geography to people. Yeah. Because a lot of people still think that New Albany is like part of Evansville. It's not. But
it's far, in fact.
Yeah, it's actually I can get to the State House from my house about 10 or 15 minutes faster than I can get to Evansville.
Yeah.
And Evansville's a great community, but it's a very separate and different community.
Absolutely.
I can be, depending on traffic, I can be in downtown Louisville from my house in 10 minutes or less. So,
and when you're out,
very much a part of Louisville.
when you're out knocking on doors and we're going to meetings, do you hear much about? And I've got kin that live in Floyd's Knobs. They talk about tolling on the bridge a lot. And I know it doesn't deal with Clarksville or New Albany, but it's Jeffersonville. But
it does.
Do you hear much about it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. In fact, I put that on my survey this year. I've had it on my survey for a couple years now. I think this is the third year I've included questions about tolling because so many of my constituents have continued to have problems with the tolled bridges. So we have 2 tolled bridges, and even though the Sherman-Minton Bridge, I-64 in New Albany, is not tolled, many of my constituents use one of the tolled bridges to get back and forth to work. You were talking about that connection, between Southern Indiana and Louisville. We're more than 10 years into the Ohio River Bridges project. More than 10 years since the bridges have opened, and the tolling system has never delivered. I think we're on our 3rd vendor now, maybe.
I've got the RiverLink pass on my windshield.
RiverLink.
For whatever reason.
But it has never delivered. The Bridges project has delivered big time for the region. It has been a tremendous benefit. Obviously, a lot changed during COVID in terms of commuting and work from home and things like that. And we need to get back to looking at the tolling system and, how it's working, what's not working. But real quick, other things in New Albany. I mean, a lot of the things that I've worked on here in the State House, a lot of the things you and I have worked on together, I'm excited to work on at the local level. Housing is a great example. We talk about the housing crisis. We absolutely have a housing crisis in New Albany and Southern Indiana, throughout Indiana, throughout the country. I'm excited to have the opportunity to work on that at the local level. So that's a great example. That relates to the way I'd like to approach TIF, talking about true redevelopment, getting into those areas of the city where there's a lot of unrealized opportunity. Lots of things I want to do. I mean, some of it is very basic. We have a new city hall. I say new. It's been open for several years. It's on Main Street. It's a historic building, and it's right downtown on Main Street. But the door on Main Street isn't accessible to the public. So one of the first things that I've said I would do as mayor, I said this in 23, and I'll be talking about it a lot, is simply open the front door of City Hall and welcome.
The symbolism of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, symbolism, but also, and this again relates to things you and I have worked on, I want to implement a navigator program so that people can walk into City Hall and get connected to the resources they need. And that may be resources within the city, or it may be referring them out to some other community resource or government resource. But I think one of the big problems, and I know you agree with this because, again, we've worked on these things, is just getting people connected with the resources that exist. A lot of times it's not that there aren't resources, it's that people don't know about the resources, or they don't have the ability to connect with the resources, and that can be, a myriad of issues.
One of the biggest parts of government, Klopp.
Now, I want to ask about the political side of this. Obviously, people who identify with any particular political party is at an all-time low right now. You've chosen to run as an independent for mayor. What went into that decision?
Well, it was,
You know he's a libertarian.
Yes, well,
I'm aware.
Ed knows. Yeah,
I'm well aware.
Jim, I don't know if you know this, but I ran for lieutenant governor.
I recognize that. I wanted to tell our audience, remind our audience.
Okay, yes, I know.
So there were a lot of things that went into my decision, and last year when we had the partisan school board bill,
right.
I was very opposed to that. It passed narrowly in both the House and Senate, but it passed, and that's going to change school board elections this year, not for the better. But when we were debating that, I said many times that it was taking us in the wrong direction, and I would actually like to see us go in the other direction of making other local offices nonpartisan, starting with municipal offices, certain county offices, judgeships. So part of this is trying to lead by example. I mean, obviously, I've had a crisis of conscience with the Republican Party, but I've tried hard to separate that from the individuals. It's been an incredible blessing to serve, and I'm excited about running for mayor and being able to do that without having to consider party politics. You know, my only consideration is going to be what's best for the people of New Albany, and I'm really excited about that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So we really appreciate you being on. Today is
thank you guys.
When legislators, Senate and House of Representatives, when they leave public service and not running for re-election, or they lose, their body, the House of Representatives today, will honor Representative Clere and all his service to the state of Indiana, and I think that's appropriate. And I came back in 21 when everybody had masks on, and it was kind of an interesting ceremony in itself because I wasn't really prepared for everything that went on during the 21 session. But anyway, we thank you for your public service in the State House. We look forward to you serving the city of New Albany. And last thoughts, Klopp?
No, thank you very much. Hey, I appreciate the courage that you have to say, hey, this is who I am, and this is the route I want to go.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to be on your show, and great to see both of you, Jim. Thank
you
you.
will hear from dozens of people who say, I saw you on Merritt in the morning.
Dozens.
Tens, maybe.
Well, they all know you ran for lieutenant governor now.
I know. I got to remind people.
Well, we're growing the audience, so we have new audience.
As you know, I was not the marquee on that ticket. So,
yeah,
well.
You were to me.
Well, thanks, Jim. I know that I don't think either one of you probably voted for me, but I appreciate your support. So, thanks to Josh Gillespie, our producer. We want to thank our sponsors, the Honey Baked Ham Company, locations 96 in Michigan, Greyhound Pass and Carmel, and Stockyards Bank and Trust, locations all over central Indiana, southern Indiana, and the greater Louisville area. So thanks for watching episode number 67 from the State House. Jim, I like this. We might have to come back here.
We have to come back here.
Except we don't get breakfast here. That's the only downside.
I'll make you breakfast.
Well, thanks. Thanks, Jim. All right. Thanks for watching.
1, 2.